Order. The honorable is now in session. The court is now in session. All that other semantics and legalisties and legalese and blah, blah, blah. All right, let's get to the game recap first. I got just a couple of 3 points for you guys. So let's start at the beginning. Okay. As ridiculous it is to say, the Cowboys' hope for a win took a serious hit when they failed to score a touchdown after the turnover. Defense,
on the first possession?
Yeah. On the Cowboys' first possession, yeah.
No,
that was ball game.
That's not when it ended. It was stupid, but no, you had a chance.
Okay, well, let me rephrase it. So, how was your feeling after that point? Like, obviously, there's still, 55 minutes to play, but in the back of your mind, Rudy, you didn't have a little bit of creeping doubt, like, dang.
No, like the second pass Bo Nix threw was a pick to way behind his target. That would only give me hope. And then, we fumbled around at the 2, but that's not the first time. I'd expect the players of our caliber to be able to get over that.
Okay.
What if I told you got to see a peek of what ended up happening in the next Broncos possession?
Repeat that one more time. Sorry.
What if I told you got the, let's just play Magic Imagination World.
Okay.
You got to see what as soon as you see them having to settle for a field goal, you got to see what happened in the next possession, which was like that RJ Harvey long touchdown.
Yeah.
Do you still feel that way if that's the case?
Do I feel the game was over after?
Yeah, so let me like Justin saying, Rudy, if I just move my argument to, all right, after we kick a field goal and then after Denver goes down and scores, ball game. How do you respond to that statement then?
I still disagree.
Okay. Justin, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't there a penalty on the Denver drive that extended that?
Yeah, I think
Houston offside.
James Houston was offsides.
So, I mean, you should have been off the field. It would have been a nice 3 and out, but you kind of thumpered around. And again, I mean, I've seen this defense give up rushing touchdowns and extended runs to almost every team we played. So that wasn't new. That didn't demoralize me, really.
Well, I got to wonder how many drinks you were having at that point to be so optimistic. But I was definitely down in the dumps. So, but I think we need a ruling, Judge.
I'd be remiss considering that I helped build this case. Not to say that Rudy didn't have a good argument. I feel like the fact that the defense's MO is just giving this up left and right kind of swayed me. But I can't nonetheless sway from my case that I helped build.
Yeah, I would say this too, Rudy. Like, the defense didn't do anything to get that turnover. It was just literally Bo Nix pooping it. And so I would think the odds would be like, all right, Bo Nix is probably not going to keep playing like that for the rest of the game. I don't see how we're going to get another stop like that. But I see your point, and I don't want to stake on this, but I'll let you have one more word since I had a final word too.
Yeah, I guess I would just say to kind of continue along the lines that I was going with. We've seen our team allow 30 points, 40 points, and we're still in it. Again, at that point, you'd only seen one offensive possession. It did start with great field position, and you kind of fucked it up a little bit. But to say it's over, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That is that.
Oh, and on that first possession, too, Patrick Surtain had come up a little lame there, right?
I think he exited. Yeah.
And so that also should play into you thinking your offense should score almost every drive like they have done all year.
Okay. All right. Well, if you didn't feel that way then, I think by the Dak interception before half, you definitely felt like the game might have been over. But that isn't my point. My point is, as bad as Dak's throw was into double coverage, I do believe, the interception wasn't his fault. It was more of the defensive's fault and Coach Schottenheimer's fault for being too conservative and too much punting at that point in the game. Defense.
Completely agree. And let's add one more thing in here. Earlier in that half, you called a timeout on a 1st and goal. If we have one more timeout, Dak is not forcing that pass to Ferg. You're going for, 10 yards, going a little
right.
shallower, and then feeding Aubrey. So I don't even think you're in that position if you have better time management from Shoddy. And yeah, the defense, after you've seen a full half of getting run all over and then wide open, Troy Franklin here and there, that you kind of had to start forcing things.
Might I add, though, I know I can't come up with an argument considering that y'all both agreed and y'all are both on different sides. Can we at least agree that ball had no business being thrown to Jake Ferguson?
I mean, he's hit that seam a million times. He underthrew it.
Oh, Rudy, come on.
Let me... Yeah, I mean, Rudy makes a good point, but I kind of agree, Justin. But after I've heard like former players talk about it, and it's just like in a perfect world, yeah, he doesn't throw it. But I just also think, I don't know, man. I've been going back and forth on that play for so long. I agree with you, Justin, but also I think I don't know. Like it's really tough to be so critical of your quarterback at that point. So I guess that's a non-answer.
Well, again, y'all agreed, so there's no need for me to split the baby, so to speak.
Well, was there a point that you wanted to get to? I mean, it is your courtroom, Judge, so you can...
No, I'm just saying, I felt like there was 2 other options on that play that no need to force it all the way down there.
What were those other options?
Pickens and Turpin. But the Turpin throw, seeing it on the wide view, that would have been a pretty far throw, I won't lie. Mm-hmm. But Pickens was on the short side of the field, kind of open too, and was able to get out of bounds. But I think the like y'all both alluded to, the no timeouts probably was the symptom to why that was made.
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's 22 seconds left, I think, when that ball snapped. So he still had time to get a short completion. I think they were right around the...
They're around the 50, I think.
Yeah, they were just shy of the 50, I think, at the Dallas 48. So there was still some room to, I don't know, dump it off or get just a small gain and then trot Aubrey out there. But I don't know, you might be messing with the competitor and the quarterback at that point. But yeah, it sounds like we are in agreement. So I don't know why I keep talking about this. So let's move on. All right, this is my final point about the game overall before we get into the takeaways. But in the second half, and this is more of a question. I couldn't find a way to phrase this as an argument. So let me just throw it out there to the courtroom. See what you guys can do with this. In the second half, it's 4th and 6 at the Dallas 44. Cowboys have the ball, and we're down 17-30. And Coach Schottenheimer elects to punt the ball. And for the life of me, I don't know why. And I'm trying to figure out what message is the head coach trying to send to his team. And I guess the second part to my question for you guys is that an effective and productive message? Because I think all of us are of the opinion that you got to go for it at that point.
Yeah, especially when it doesn't matter where the Broncos start with the ball. Your defense is going to get rolled over anyway, so might as well save some time if they only have 40 yards to go rather than 60 or whatever. Yeah, you have to go for that. We talked about it earlier this year, Ian, that they have to be more aggressive, especially when you know your defense is going to allow an excess of touchdowns. And yeah, I agree that that level of conservatism is unbecoming of what the Cowboys need to be. And yeah, it is definitely a vote of not whatever the opposite of a non-vote of confidence is. That's kind of what it was as well. I don't think that's the messaging Shoddy's had all offseason in the season, so that's disappointing for sure.
Well, what do you mean? In that him making the decision having a vote? Well, I think he's trying to make the argument that he trusts the defense. Not saying that's the right argument, but
yeah. I agree. I think Rudy. I see what you're saying, Rudy, but I think it is a a vote of confidence into the other side of the ball more than it is a lack of confidence in the offense.
Well,
but like Justin said, I don't think that's a good message.
Then I have a
I don't
new
think that's the
headache
right.
because what on earth makes you think that the defense is the side to trust, not the side with CD and Pickens and Dak and Ferg and Javante? Yeah, let's turn it over to the defense. That's even crazier. I feel like it has to be focused on he just didn't like he was worried that if we don't get it, they have a short field. And I think it was just that because genuinely what you can't give that defense the vote of confidence.
Did they down that punt with inside the 10 on that drive? Or did I make that
so.
up?
Didn't they start at like the 25 or 30? That
no. Are you talking about the Broncos?
Yeah. Like
when we punted on that possession?
When we punted, or was that a different possession when the defense actually stopped them in the second half?
That was a different possession. So to start the second half, the Cowboys scored, Broncos got a field goal, then the Cowboys took it up to the point that I brought up, and then they punted.
And then what happened? The Broncos
the ball was down, caught in the 16, and then the Broncos went on a touchdown to make it 37-17.
Okay, then it was that punt that I'm talking about. I mean, theoretically, we know what the reality is. Football coach is gonna say, two sides of the ball, blah 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 blah. Like they gotta step up, and theoretically, that's kind of piss poor that you down the ball if inside 16 and you give up a 94-yard drive. Or that's not. 84. I did math wrong. 84. Yeah, 84-yard drive. That's kind of. I think we kind of, not to cheat, but I think we kind of saw it in the presser today where he kind of, I mean, I know he tried to save face with the defense by putting blame on the whole team, but I think the tensions are kind of high right now inside the Star as far as, well, we kind of know who. The defense kind of putting this team at a complete severe disadvantage.
So why do you guys think he did that? Or why... Is it just because it's too early in the season to say you guys are so trash I can't trust y'all? And maybe he's just trying to have like one more dash of hope that the defense can get a stop? Or I'm just really at a loss for his decision making. I was wondering maybe you guys can illuminate it.
Well, like I said, I think it's that's a desperate move by me to just say, defense not going to make a stop, especially with it being like good field position. Theoretically. So, and I mean, I know we're all looking from the point of view of the couch of like, we know that these players stink theoretically. So no, I won't give them the opportunity. I might as well just go for it. But you know how these coaches think. You know how, you know me. I'm just as conservative as anybody when it comes to football. Not wanting to just go for it. So at the time, even I was kind of like, low key, I would go for it. But I think that's just the reality. He's going to be a kind of conservative coach in a way.
Yeah, no, I think it was playing scared and playing conservative. I mean, he's been coaching longer than like the young bloods of the McVays and the Shanahans. When he was learning to coach, it was not about analytics and going for it all the time, even though he's considered a young coach. He was extremely conservative there and, like I said, scared. I think his only thought was if we don't get it, they take over at the 40 and they for sure put it away. And so he said, all right, let's just hope something happens on the defensive side. I don't think it was a vote of confidence for the defense. I think it was just like all right, odds are them going 90, something will happen. And nothing happened except you got run over. And so, no, I just think he was scared. And, yeah, man.
And correct me if I'm wrong. If they hold them to a field goal, it's a 16-point game, so 2 possessions.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, that's probably also in the math. Like, we caught a break. I think they dropped the pass, and
exactly.
They held them to a field goal.
Hoping for a break because you are scared to trust your offense.
Yeah.
Well, because where they take over if you don't get that. I think it's playing scared.
Good points. So let's get into the takeaways, and I kind of want to keep staying on this topic because, and I will just say this too, in a game like the Broncos, I feel like when you're playing against a playoff contender or like a top team, I think that's when you really gotta like put your best foot forward and put your best like side of the ball forward and believe in them, which is the offense. That's why you go for it. But in games where you're like, all right, this is an inferior opponent, maybe we can get the stop. I can see that line of thinking then. But my other point, or my first point of the takeaways, is it's not too early in the season for Schottenheimer to start acting like the Dallas identity is his number one offense, and the other side of the ball is like practically non-existent. Like Schottenheimer needs to be. We need to live and die by the offense basically at all turns going forward, midway through the season.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this in the past. Like, if your offense doesn't keep up with the barrage of points coming in that the defense is allowing, you're completely screwed. So it is going to be offensive-led if we're going to be in any game.
Yeah, and considering that ownership and the management isn't probably going to make a trade to help the defense at all. It's not getting any better. And, I'm a big advocate for Overshown, and who knows what Ravel is going to be. But if they're going to have to trot out Bridges and, Andrew Booth at corner, especially with this whole Trayvon Diggs thing, I don't think the depending on anything, our defense is wise going forward.
Do you guys think Schottenheimer has the capability to be like, all right, no more of this, like both sides of the ball, this is like the Cowboys are offensive and defensive team. He can now be like, all right, no, we're just an offensive team and all we can do is score points this season. Do you think he has the capability of changing? I mean, I don't know.
Capability? He shouldn't. I mean, there was that talk that, like, he's in defensive meetings before we played Washington, and we played our most man coverage. Defensively, we played man more than we had at any point in the season. And then this past week, you saw the amount of zone and how wide open receivers were. I need him to be more assertive on the defensive side. The offensive side, like I said, it's so stacked, it's so talented. I don't need him to like rewrite.
Be respectful to the defense, to our defense.
Bro, just like get them to do something, or like get Eberflus to change his scheme a little bit. Because the offense will show up.
Yeah, we see the fan base bullying Eberflus. Why not the coach? Why not the head coach?
Yeah.
All right. So the enemy head coach had some interesting things to say about the game. He said he was very proud that his defense went toe-to-toe against our high-powered offense, and I'm paraphrasing, and they were able to stop them and beat them. And I know with the outcome of the game, it's foolish to argue against him, but I would say it wasn't a fair fight. It wasn't mano-a-mano. We did have, our defense putting us behind the ball. But I guess what I'm saying is I don't think Denver's defense had the blueprint to stop the offense. I think it was more of just kind of Dak pressing and Schottenheimer being a little too conservative. What do you guys say to that? Defense, I guess, Rudy. Defense, do you agree, or do you think they had something, Denver?
Yeah, I think it was a man issue, like my lineman versus your defensive lineman. Your defensive lineman beat me. There was multiple times where Nick Bonito is thrashing through Tyler Guyton by Tyler Guyton. Terrence Steele got beat. I would love BB to make a comeback because Hoffman did not do his best. Our run game was non-existent compared to what it had been all year, partially due to our offensive line getting bullied. I don't necessarily think it's a scheme thing. I think just man-to-man, they're more talented and they were better than us. And they dominated the trenches.
Yeah, and I think I feel like it kind of illustrated that in the red zone, more or less. I mean, Peyton can make the argument of, we stood tall. We gave up some yards, but when it mattered most, we stood tall, especially at the line of scrimmage, especially with how hard it was to get into the end zone. That could be your argument, Ian, that Schottenheimer lost his mind as far as, overthinking what to call.
Self-inflicted wounds, I would say is bigger problem.
Like I mentioned Surtain being out, target the replacement, and it felt like that was not on Shoddy's mind to target the weak link.
They wanted to target I'll leave it at that.
I'll continue, Your Honor.
The DPI merchant.
Yeah, man.
But
I just thought that was extremely weak matchup wise as well. Like, finally we have, well, who was it? Abrams or Adams? Abrams, the corner for Denver. He was Swiss cheese, and it felt like once every 5 plays we targeted him. Target him the very next play, brother. He can't stop us. But yeah, I don't know what kind of game plan that was.
Speaking of bullying, Justin, the enemy head coach had no problem bullying the defense in the post-game press conference, saying that, paraphrasing, of course, that the Dallas defense was a joke. And I know we could keep trashing Flus on this, but I kind of think we got to look at McClay, who might be a bigger joke when it comes to building defensive personnel and building a defense. Or maybe even the bigger joke is the management and having a pissing contest with their star DB, which I think is just ridiculous considering where your defense is. So I would say I hear you, Sean Payton, but I think the bigger joke is management and having a little beef with Flukes or with Diggs.
I mean, going off my point that I just brought up man to man and just personnel, I think that, yeah, so there are a lot of picks we've had in the last 5-6 years that were because of Dan Quinn. We wanted him comfortable. We can all think of the infamous Rod Marinelli one and Taco Charlton over TJ Watt. Get coaches out of the scouting room. And especially on the defensive side, I mean, look at our last few drafts. It's all coaches deciding these trash players. Mozzie Smith was an example. I think that when I get what you're saying about Trevon being a star, but even when he was here, he was still Swiss cheese too. We could look. I think scheme and the personnel department are your two to blame.
Hey, Rudy, you had me until you lost. You lost me when you threw a jab at Diggs because I can't watch. I can't watch. Right, I can't watch Kaiir Elam and Bridges.
Hold on,
again.
Me saying that Diggs isn't doing good enough does not mean that Kaiir is off the hook either.
Dude,
there's plenty of blame to go around in that secondary.
I fully actually, you know, I've been a big advocate of McClay. But it's time for that man to catch the gun because
who are you leaving us with then? The Joneses and coaches, the fools
dude,
that got us into this.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this earlier this week. Has he hit on a single defensive player besides Micah? Well, I mean, is he on the field? So
that's 2 out of I don't know how long he's been here. But
yeah, Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealon.
Oof.
I mean,
Carson,
Bossman
Ravel, who can't get on the field. Like, no disrespect, but
Carson.
How much is, like, we know Nashawn Wright was a big Dan Quinn pick. Dan Quinn wanted the Jackson duo, Michael and Joe Jackson, that one year. It's almost like every single defensive back that ended up being all right, like Xavier. Fuck, why am I forgetting his last name?
Woods.
We got Chido, Xavier Woods, and
those are Rob Marinelli days.
Those are pre-Dan Quinn. There wasn't a secondary member that turned out all right under Dan Quinn. I feel like, I don't know, man. Coaching personnel has led us down this road to where now, you think it's a scouting department. It's not. It's the coaching. Can I don't even know what the gambling term is or the card term is, but can we look at this offseason's acquisitions on the defensive side when it comes to deciding to make a trade for Kenneth Murray, signing Sanborn? I know he's not healthy. Signing or trading for Kaiir Elam. Like, these are all like people that they're like, oh yeah, we could fix them. Isn't that the Stephen Jones playbook, though?
You don't think McClay had a say in that, too?
I would think that the coach
says, I want to take the cheapest option available?
I think considering that both of those two, the two main people that I have the biggest issues with were former first-round picks, I could totally see them saying, oh, well, he was pretty high on our board, even though they got picked ahead or after us. I think we could make a reclamation project, and maybe they fit in the quote unquote Eberflus system. So I think that I don't think there's no way Stephen Jones and Jerry. I hate to use this argument, but there's no way Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones at this point know who Kenneth Murray and Kyrie Elam are.
No, they don't scout him, but they know that he's been in Eberflus's system, and so it's very easy to then just go, okay,
I don't think
yeah, but they're not getting that information, Rudy. Eberflus is coming with the shopping list and say, "This is who I want."
Oh, and I'm sure
that's what I think.
Said trade away my best defensive. Like no one's.
Well, I mean, come on, that's a different argument. That's the
okay. We're not talking.
But no, we're looking at. We're not
talking about that man.
No of more. Every issue, it's back to Steven. I feel like blaming Jerry is a little too easy. Well, I think Steven makes more choices than he does.
But I guess I did a bad job phrasing my argument. But I guess now I thought about it. The biggest joke isn't Flus or McClay. It's management, which would be the gambler and his son. And it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of summarizing their argument with Diggs and having a little spat with Diggs and keeping him off the field. I mean, concussion injury protocol notwithstanding, I just think they're having a beef with him to start the season is the biggest joke. But it sounds like
they've had beefs with Amari Cooper before. He's your best receiver.
Well, okay, so would you disagree with that? I'm saying that that's the biggest joke. Would you say it's either McClay or Flus, or would you say it is management?
It's management because management put Flus in this position. Cut away his leg, oversold what he could do, bringing in Sanborn because he knows this is. It's all management. Every part of it was set up for failure, and they lied to everyone on the radio and whatnot. It's management.
I agree with Rudy on this one. The personnel being brought in time after time. I'd rather roll with Old Man Kendricks and Gilmore than K9 and Elam at this point, because this is just, I mean, I do agree with the dig spot that's just straight up dumb, but rolling with the personnel, especially making that a priority in this offseason to give up assets where it may be a 6 or 7 round pick for garbage players, with all due respect, I'm not a fan of. And I think McClay and the personnel going to have to build a lot of trust with me going forward, because as of right now, forget the 4 picks that we have, first round picks. We're going to do something with them or not. Like, I'm not even talking about trade. I'm talking about, like, are we going to make the right play?
Are they actually going to hit? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Outside of what? Tyler Smith and maybe Overshown? What's the last hit that they've had?
Yeah. Can't think of one. CD? Or was he earlier in the draft? But
pre-COVID or post-COVID vaccine. I mean, like, come on. Like,
yeah. Okay. So looking ahead, the Cowboys got Arizona at home. Now, I think can't overlook Arizona because a W is just not a given with this team and organization. But the biggest takeaway, or the thing I'm looking forward to most in that game, is for the Cowboys offense to get back on track. And even though we all kind of agreed that Denver's defense didn't have the blueprint to stop them, but I just like them to get that performance. Just get back to what they were doing the previous 7 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I would expect them. I downplayed how good Denver was going into that matchup. Dude, they were a nightmare to deal with defensively. I would absolutely expect Dallas to improve upon that horrendous game this upcoming week against Arizona.
I would think so, considering that I think a lot of it, I know it maybe cuts the legs out on one of the previous arguments, but I think a lot of it was self-inflicted, more or less, than like just straight up Denver being tough. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. I'm surprised you didn't bring up 9-0, Ian.
Do tell. I don't know what that means.
AT&T Stadium.
With a certain. Well, he's not even playing, is he?
He is. I think.
Oh, he is cleared. Okay, I thought the other guy
I
was
think
playing.
he is healthy.
Well, I mean, I didn't even consider that because I thought, I didn't think he was going to be playing. But I guess
Well, but
now
that
we
wasn't your
have.
question either. You were asking about our offense. But if we're talking about Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, I would expect them to have a game like everyone else we faced. Pretty easy against this defense.
Well, it appears he is questionable, but we'll see. All right, guys, bold proclamation here, and I know it may piss off a lot of people, and it may sound pretty hypocritical considering what we're talking about, but I'm gonna still say it. I'm done with the NFL, quite honestly. Outside of the Cowboys games, it's gonna be really hard for me to stomach much more if this continues. This noon slate, horrible. What game was interesting at all besides tush push controversy for half a minute?
You know you were into that Jets-Bengals game.
Oh, dude, I didn't even realize the Jets won. I just assumed the Bengals killed them. Like, I didn't know they came back, quite honestly.
So I would say there is something interesting going into those games, but like, let's say I'm late to the noon slate and I turned it on like second quarter and I'm just like, oof. Because, I think after, in retrospect, there wasn't a one-score game at all this week except for one or two. So I see what you're saying. But I think going into games, you can still have a little bit of interest, Justin. So I don't know if I could take a puff of
what are you interested in this week? Just off the
top
of your head.
You might want to poo-poo this, but not interested in this week. But I mean, going in the games, I'd be like, all right, let me see what Cam Ward can do as a Tennessee Titan, and or let me see what Drake May can do against Dylan Gabriel. I mean, I know that's kind of low-hanging fruit talking about what can young quarterbacks do in this league, but
that's the problem. We need off that drug of the young QB.
That's true.
Too many people are relying on that to sell the product, and
that's a good point. And me using that argument, even though I poo-poo the argument if someone else does it, it's going against me. So I'm making a very, very poor argument. But I would say, man, if the NFL is on, tomorrow, I don't know what the game is tomorrow, but I'll definitely have it.
Ravens, Dolphins. So
I'll definitely have it on. Just to
IDK
see
about
what's going on. I mean, I didn't want to see how the Falcons did against Dolphins. Now they got blown out of the water. And I was kind of curious to see if the Panthers could compete against the Bills, and they also got blown out of the water. So the more evidence I get throughout the season, and may even, ask me in about 3 more weeks, Justin, I might be like, yeah, I'm done with the NFL as well. There's nothing, too many pumpkins in this league.
Here's the thing. I think it has to do with how you're viewing the league. If you're looking for elite football to be played on both sides, it's not going to happen. What you need to look for is absurdity. For example, tomorrow's game, the Ravens are taking on the Dolphins. The Dolphins, mind you, I'm pretty sure we all took the Falcons against the spread last week. Absolutely blew out the Falcons. I think that, look, you can hope for some firings. McDaniels, if he loses, he's saved himself after last week. But two losses.
You cannot sell me on Ravens Dolphins. I don't care if Lamar's coming back. You cannot sell me on Ravens Dolphins. I'm sorry. That has to be that's what got to be one of the games I'm looking at. I'm like, I have zero interest in that.
But I'm not selling you on Raven. You're talking about the whole league. That's one example. And if that one doesn't fit your fancy, there's plenty of other absurd nonsense.
You're going to sell me on Bills Chiefs? We know how that ends. A bad Chiefs team beats the Bills. Like,
you brought him up. I mean, I would say your favorite quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, trying to end this cult streak where they've suddenly become the hottest team in the league. There's a little bit of intrigue there. You can make
I'm AFC football. You can't sell me on, nonetheless. I know that sounds like too broad, painting a broad brush, but
I think you're right because we already, like you said earlier, we know what it's going to end up being. It's the Chiefs over everyone in the AFC because they all have
And
they have the bugaboo of everybody
they're the
except for
freaking
the
third
Bengals.
team in their division too. That's absurd.
Hey, absurdity is what we're selling here.
No, I want good football, and I think we kind of touched all bases on this. But yeah, like there's only one side of the ball that's good on each teams, and even the up and coming teams, like I mentioned, like the Falcons. Oh, look, they look kind of decent, and they poo it on prime time against San Fran, and they get blown out by a terrible Dolphins team. And I don't know, maybe the Giants backfield duo did something for y'all. I mean, it didn't do anything for me, but that was the talk of the town. But that quickly came to an. I mean, Dabo on the sideline. I mean, that's entertainment right there. But
that's why I said 1 minute of him
true.
going toe to toe with the officials. But you know, I mean, I didn't really get the pulse of national media this week, but I really do hope the tush push was a topic of discussion because that was very criminal. And you know,
it's getting banned. It is absolutely getting banned this offseason.
Justin, I would like you to table your argument and ask me again in I would say 2 to 4 weeks, because I think at that point we usually hit the low in the NFL, and I would be in agreement. But right now I'm still flying high, but we're barely halfway through the season, so
I think you can sell me a lot more college points right now than
NFL.
Quite honestly,
yeah. Well, if that's your argument, then I'm definitely puffing that, because I'd rather watch college
Ian
football.
Just said he wants to watch good football, and then you suggest college.
But you just said it's absurd. The NFL is absurd, and if it's absurd as a professional league, I mean it's more absurd in the college league. So why would I watch the most absurd?
The absurdity is what I'm selling, Justin. Everyone gets a personalized ad here. And you ask for good football, and you're not finding that in college.
I'm not finding it in the pros either, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
So,
it's better. From that in the NFL.
100% better, though.
I'm not quite sure right now.
You have QB. Look, I'm a UNT fan. We just threw for 608 yards. Do you think that was all the QB, or do you think the defense was ass? We're
not talking about, like, with all due respect, we're not talking about Power 4 football. Like,
okay, I mean, look, let's look at any average SEC team. Not even half of that team is starting in the league next year. There's ass on every.
Rudy, you have enough like options in the college football on any like slate and time window on Saturday that you can find a game
you have to accumulate it. If you were stuck watching one college football game, you'd blow.
Bro, we had 10 games in the NFL, and only one of them was competitive, and that was between the 0-7 Jets versus the Cincinnati Bengals. That was the only competitive game. I
love college games where the score is 56-3. That's
boy, we're talking about like competition.
38-39, was it not?
We're talking about being competitive.
That's an entertaining game.
Oh my word!
If you're talking about it now, you're saying entertaining. Boy, 56-40, whatever. That's entertaining.
I'm not saying. Well, you know what that is? That is the selling point to some people. That Chiefs-Bills game that changed overtime rules forever. That's exactly what that was to a lot of people.
I think the biggest issue is that teams that are looking to break the barrier of the stranglehold that the Chiefs have on the NFL and the tush-push team, which everyone just hates at this point. They're falling short. They're falling well short. All of those young and up.
Well, even those two teams are,
to me, the NFL.
Even those two teams are so mediocre in my eyes.
That's true. I mean,
I'm like, what do I care about watching them either? Like, can't even get a good hate watching because I'm like, this team's just bad too. So like,
but even worse than that, they're bad. But no matter who they face competition wise, they don't rise to the occasion. They play just as poor as those top two teams that you mentioned. Would you agree?
Yeah, all around bad.
Like they don't even give them a good contest, or they don't blow them out. They're just like, all right, well, they're gonna fart, mess around. The Chiefs, let's also fart and mess around. So it's just like, ugh, what is it?
Yeah, this isn't the Peyton Manning Colts and the Tom Brady Patriots, or dare I even say the Andy Reid Eagles of old,
or the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger versus the Baltimore Ravens. Joe Flacco.
Honestly, I'm disgusted. Y'all have named all these quarterbacks, but you're not looking at the other side of those elite teams where you've got Dwight Freeney coming around the edge. You've got Troy Polamalu. You got
Well, Rudy, it's just
Harrison,
easier to mention eras with the quarterback and the team.
and that's the thing that you hate. You hate the fallacy of the quarterback should bring you in.
Well,
but
no,
it's
I'm trying
what
to relay it to you about what was good back then. What's the easiest way? What am I going to say, Dwight Freeney?
I remember Bob Sanders on the Colts. Don't give me that.
Well,
Nonetheless, I mean, one of my arguments was the coach, but nonetheless. All right, how about this, Rudy? I'll even give you the mid 2000s of Legion of Boom and 49ers, Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis. We ain't seeing that. There's nothing that I can't turn on the TV and say, oh well, that team is just far and away better than everybody else. Let me see how this team is going to shape its way into being a contender. I don't know who's a contender right now. I don't. And it's not because, oh man, the league is so wide open. It's just everybody's just so garbage. Everybody's just beyond garbage.
1 week ago, you were praising Vrabel's defense for almost being revolutionary. You praised Drake May. Dog, you were a staunch supporter of the Patriots. Are you not flying those colors anymore?
Dude, I'm trying to stimulate something, bro. At least they're pushing back against the narrative against Buffalo. That's the only thing
Patriots provide in Pittsburgh.
Huh?
The DBs in Pittsburgh don't move you. I know you love.
No, dude, they're like the third worst defense in the league.
Yeah.
There's no staying power, I think, what Justin's trying to say. And I agree. Like, all right, it was entertaining to start the season, but now you're like, all right, the show's over in Pittsburgh. Kind of. And not as entertaining as it once was, especially still losing confidence.
And, bro, come on. Like, the Pack, that's entertaining. They smacked around the Steelers for about a half. But, they going to lay an egg against the Browns and Cowboys the next 2 weeks, or some inferior opponent. So, like, tap the brakes on the Jordan Love coronation, just because.
I would say Detroit is still somewhat interesting, but that's also been like a story that we've kind of been fed for about, 3 years now? So it is at the
all
point
for it to end in the divisional? Yeah.
Yeah, well, also it's just like it's not new. It's not like exciting. We like, okay, they're fun and we got it. Like, I don't know. Like if they're on, maybe it's interesting to watch, but it's not like a young, exciting thing. But yeah.
Oversaturation and mediocre product. It's
I'm getting there, Justin. I think you're onto something. Right? You're onto something.
The brand is as strong as ever in college football, if you ask me. Now, a lot of that it might be
bad as it's always been.
But we're not a college football podcast.
But
so I think
there's some comparing though, and we're finishing that conversation. College football. Boom.
Hey, at least the drama in college football could sell me all week.
The drama. Half the teams are 11-1 by the end of the year. What drama?
The coaching carousel has been quite entertaining, especially this week.
Seeing people get paid $50 million to be fired.
Oh, when it involves state politics. I do agree.
But the on-field product is what intrigues people to college.
Also, too, in the college game, I don't ever see this in the pros, but you're forgetting one of the most entertaining things that happened last season, which was the
R.I.P.
Yeah, I guess, that doesn't happen anymore. But you ain't getting that entertainment in the NFL game, that's for sure. In the college game, oof. That was happening off a sack, off a catch.
You're just talking about the celebration.
I'm talking about the celebration.
Well, I thought you were talking about one man that did it week one of the college game.
No, I'm talking about the celebration, bro. We got that every other week and a new flag was happening. I don't know, bro. That was entertaining in itself.
I agree. Dude, there's so much theatrics.
Bar for entertainment, I see.
Dude, that's what we're at right now. It's not the product on the field. At least entertainment.
Shooting the gun. I like this.
I mean...
I'll take that game takes 4 hours.
Rudy, what was the last professional football game you went to? Rudy, what was the last professional football game you went to?
I don't know.
And what was the last college football game you went to?
Has nothing to do with the on-field product.
That's my case.
I went to UNT versus USF. What a nightmare shit show the defensive backs for both teams were. That was not good football.
But
You still
hey, you
win.
gotta at least admit Baron Browning was prime entertainment. If you
He's
don't,
garbage. He's absolute trash. If our defensive backs could just stay on their feet, he would have had 4 picks by the end of the
didn't
game.
he have
He was
like
garbage.
6 touchdowns that game?
I mean, how many of them were from slip DBs? He was not good, dude. He
Oh,
couldn't throw
boy, we
the
just
ball
saw
to
that
save
on
his
Sunday
life.
with the Cowboys.
I'd rather see Dak do it than Baring Browning. Is that what you said? He was so bad. He genuinely will not ever see professional football in his entire lifetime. And that's who you're touting right now.
Well, we got to move on. But, Justin, I think you won your case. And I'm definitely betting.
Oh!
So I don't need the 2 weeks to check back in.
I was just trying to make a transition, get the fuck out of here. But
I feel you.
And it's time for everyone's favorite segment, the Pick'ems. Ian, why don't you let us know how we did last week?
Oh, all right. Well, Justin finished last with 6 points. I finished second with 7 points. Rudy, you finished first with 9 points. So you have 69. I have 65. Justin, you have 62. All right, back to you, Rudy.
Oh, boy.
That sounds about right, quite honestly.
Too easy. A quick rundown of the leaderboard is music to my ears. And I expect that next week as I'm going to trounce y'all starting with Ravens, Dolphins in Miami, Thursday night football. The spread in that one is Dolphins plus 7.5 at home. I'm going to say that Action Jackson is too much and they cover that spread.
Is he back?
Yeah, he is. Or he should be. Give me the Ravens.
Boy, y'all must not have heard. Give me the Fins.
Wow.
Fins for Ian. Moving on to Sunday, we've got the Bears and the Bengals in Cincinnati. Spreading that one is Cincinnati plus 3. And I'm rolling with Joe Flacco and the Bengals.
Well, he's not playing, so
then I'm gonna
What happened?
rephrase that.
He got hurt.
Really?
His status is in great jeopardy.
I pinned all my hopes on one man. So I'm revoking that. I'm going with the Bears.
Oh yeah, another stinky Caleb performance, but nevertheless, the Bears will take the win.
Yeah, that's just another example of a team that's close, but they put out stinkos. Give me the Bears, though, nevertheless.
All right, clean sweep there. Moving on to the Niners traveling to the Meadowlands, taking on the Giants. Spreading that one is Giants plus 2.5 at home. Give me the Niners to bounce back.
Yeah, give me the 49ers.
Clean sweep. Moving on.
Moving on, we've got the Falcons and the Patriots in New England. Spreading that one is Falcons plus 5.5. Give me Justin's Mike Vrabel-led Patriots.
Yeah, let's trot out Adam Vinatieri and take the Pats.
You son of a bitch, Justin.
Taking the kick.
Yeah, I was going to do that.
The biggest Falcons fan there is, and going to pick the Falcons?
Well, I'm not an idiot. I mean, yeah, I'll take the Pats as well.
Clean sweep there. Moving on, we've got the Colts and the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Spreading that one is Pittsburgh plus 3. Go ahead and give me the Colts, though.
Yeah, give me the Colts.
Yeah, Colts.
Clean sweep there. Moving on, we've got the Panthers traveling to Lambeau, taking on the Packers. Spreading that one is Panthers plus 13.5.
Jesus.
But I am gonna go back. Give
me the Panthers to cover.
Give me the Packers.
All right. Moving on, we've got a divisional matchup here. The Vikings will be traveling to Detroit, taking on the Lions. Spreading that one is Vikings plus 8.5. And I am going to roll the Lions in that one.
Yeah, McCarthy is back. Give me the Lions.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep. Moving on, we've got the Broncos traveling to Houston, taking on the Texans. Spreading that one is Broncos plus 1.5. Give me the Broncos.
What? Why is that spread so small? Give me the Broncos.
Yeah, I'll take the Broncos.
Clean sweep there. Moving on, we have the Chargers traveling to Tennessee, taking on the Titans. Spread in that one is Titans plus 9.5. But that ain't enough for me. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, give me LA.
I will take just to have some intrigue on Sunday. Give me the Titans.
All right. Moving on over to the 3 o'clock slate. We've got the Jags traveling to Vegas, taking on the Raiders. Spreading that one, Raiders plus 3. Give me Saxonville.
They don't exist, but yeah, give me Jacksonville as well.
Yep, Jags.
Clean sweep there. Moving on, we've got the Saints traveling to LA, taking on the Rams, where the spread on that one is Saints plus 14 points. I, however, do not think that's enough. Give me the Rams.
Yeah,
God.
I don't think Tyler Shuck is gonna be he's just not good. Let's just pick LA.
Yes, sir. Give me the Rams.
All right. Moving on, we've got the Chiefs and the Bills playing in Buffalo. Spreading that one is Buffalo plus 2 points. I'm going to go ahead and say this is where the Bills get all their hype going into the playoffs. Give me the Bills in this one.
Give me KC.
Yeah, this is going to be quote unquote the marquee NFL game, and I have no interest in watching. With that being said, though, I will take the Chiefs.
Fully agree.
Now, Sunday Night Football, we've got the Seahawks traveling to the nation's capital, taking on the Commanders, where the spread in that one is Commanders plus 3. Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, give me Seattle.
And Justin, I think if you made this point too, I don't understand why they're putting Washington on back-to-back primetime games, even if they were good. I don't understand why the NFL is doing this. So if you had, I don't know, that argument last segment too, it's just, what are we doing with these primetime games? Why are we overthinking these matchups? Because these are not barely playoff teams last year. So.
I think it's underthinking. Like they
think
seems real lazy to me.
Oh, dude, it's addicted to the young QB.
Primetime used to be sacred. We only used to get like divisional matchups or like some historical rivalry matchups, but now they're just throwing out this slop. Or I have a very selective memory, but nevertheless, rant over. I'll take the Seahawks.
All right. And lastly, Monday Night Football. We've got the Cardinals traveling to Dallas, taking on the Cowboys. Spreading that one. Cardinals plus 2.5. I'm rolling with the bounce back Cowboys, and I'm trotting out Brandon Aubrey to kick it through.
Interesting.
Yeah, I too will take the Cowboys.
Well, just when I thought the NFL couldn't draw me back in with their primetime games, they give me this beauty. Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys as well. And I have not drawn out my kicker yet. So I will go all the way back. I'll go all the way back to the Lions game, and I will take the Lions to cover that 8.5.
All right. Sounds like a move. Justin, Ian, got something?
Not at all.
All right.
Let's get out of here.